Have you ever felt like your goals feel unclear or always delayed? You are constantly stressed or overwhelmed. You can't focus on what truly matters. Decision feels slow or confusing for you, and you always feel time is never enough for you. So, if that's the case, that's not a time problem, my dear. That's a prioritization problem. And with that, under Chris, I'm bringing the topic of prioritization today. So, having busy doesn't mean that you are productive. You can do anything, but not everything. You need to learn and remember this. Because lack of prioritization leads to stress and noise. And eventually, if we bring prioritization in place, that will clear your thoughts and bring focus to your work. And here are a few simple ways to prioritize. The very first is 2 into 2 prioritization matrix. Here, the rule is simple, which brings high value with low effort. That's do now. If you see the quadrant 1, if it is a low value and a low effort, do it later. However, if it's a low value and a high effort, don't do it. And if it's a high effort and a high value, do it next. The second one is the Eisenhower Matrix. Here, we do first, which is urgent and important, the green quadrant. The second, which you think is important but not urgent, so plan it for later, which is schedule. If you feel your task is urgent but not important, then you can delegate that particular task. However, the last one, not urgent, not important, don't do it. Don't spend your energies. The next method is the 80/20 rule, often known as the Pareto principle. The rule is simple. If 80% of your effort brings 20% of the result, it doesn't make sense to you, right? However, if 20% of your effort brings 80% of the result, go for those priority activities first. So lesser effort, higher result is the thumb rule of the Pareto principle. The next is the MoSCoW prioritization. Here, the MoSCoW stands for must have, should have, could have, and won't have. So you can distribute your activities or actions or tasks among these 4 dimensions. Must have, you do have to do it right now. Should have, you certainly can do it, but not immediately. Could have, you can certainly postpone those activities for a later day or a later time period of your time. And however, the won't have, I don't think so that those are necessary ones. You can simply skip them. The last one is the KANO analysis model. Though this is a prioritization technique, however, at times this is more utilized or used often in the product management areas, where you plot your needs on an x-axis, having the extreme right as the needs fulfilled, the extreme left as the needs unfulfilled, and on y you plot its satisfaction level, the satisfaction. And with that, let's assume that if you have certain functionality in your product, so that fulfills the needs as well as it satisfies the customer, it brings excitement. Those are delighters. So that excite the quality. So that's are the very first elements you need to focus on. So again, as a part of a prioritization, if it's need fulfilled and you are satisfied, do it first. Similarly, if you feel so that you are not you are kind of a dissatisfied and must be expected not as per the expected quality and your needs are not fulfilled, so again, those are low priority items. You don't need to focus on those either in your personal preference of prioritizing your work or building a product. And similarly, this is the mediocre, or you can say the win-win situation where performance satisfies desired quality, where you do have an equilibrium of needs fulfilled versus satisfaction level. So with that KANO analysis model, I complete the prioritization. So what happens next after the prioritization? You take action, you focus on what matters, and you start executing. This is what is the next step for you guys. So just some fun element. At times, different people have different priorities, nothing offensive. You can take a look to these some snapshots. Thank you very much for your time and patience. Have a great day. Bye-bye.